Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Panther Stadium for tonight's regional championship game 6A, District 7, District 8, between the #1 ranked Derby Panthers with a record of 9-0, facing the Wichita Northwest Grizzlies coming into this game with an 8-1 record. Northwest is the City League champs, Derby coming out of the Ark Valley being the Ark Valley League champs. This is the 5th year in a row for the Panthers to repeat as Ark Valley and district champions. Currently have a record of 45 regular season victories in a row. This game has probably been debated for the last 5 years, Terry, as far as Northwest and Derby finally meeting. Northwest has traditionally been in that District 8 with Dodge City and Garden City and just have not been able to get out of that district with a victory. However, this year they got moved up into District 5, District 6 I guess it is, with Wichita East, Heights, and North, and came out of their district quite handily.
Well, it's hard to believe that as good as they've been in the past and with the winning seasons, that this is their first playoff game that they've been able to play in. So they've got that momentum going to them. The Northwest coach says the kids this year are playing for all the alumni that had the good teams and didn't have an opportunity to make it in the past. So they have some incentive built in, this being their first playoff game.
It's interesting to note that this is the first time the Panthers are playing Northwest, and they are the City League champions. Derby's the Ark Valley League champions. We see the Panthers coming on the field now. But however, back in 1986, 87, 91, and 93, Derby also faced the City League champs or co-champions and came out on top victorious. So, as Coach Young said last night to a rather large crowd at the pep rally, it's interesting how history repeats itself, and so we're hoping for a Derby victory tonight. Terry, what are some of the keys that the Panthers are going to have to do tonight to come out with a victory?
Well, the first thing they have to do tonight is they have to score more points in Northwest. And everything after that is secondary, but they've got to come out and control the line of scrimmage. And this game stacks up to be a tough defensive struggle, probably not a lot unlike the West ball game. Two fine defenses. We really don't know that much about Northwest, but they do have a strong passing game. Their lone loss this year was to Rockhurst High School out of Kansas City, Missouri, who is a perennial powerhouse in Missouri. Other than that, they went through the City League not as easy as some people would like to think. They had some difficult games. Last week against Winless Heights, it was 6-6 at halftime, and they only won that game 16-6. So this is really going to be a good test for Derby, and it's going to let us know again where the City League stands as far as their football programs.
Well, the Panthers have continued through the district play as the season with a rather balanced attack with both rushing and passing. Malik and Wehrman carrying the load on the ground with Tyson Malik over almost 1,200 yards into the season now. I know you've got some stats for us in a minute. Shelby Wehrman out of the fullback spot doing his share of the work also. And then, of course, Barry Galbraith as a quarterback who's probably struggled a little bit the last couple of games, but fortunately the running game has been clicking, and he's in the 1,000-yard category passing with Corey Gorley and Tyler Malik, and then Aaron Severin also his prime receivers. I know Northwest lost their star running back, Crabtree, early in the season. About the third game, I believe, he went out, and they've experimented, I guess, with a couple of running backs. Finally, the last two games, they settled on Melvin Ridley, who has done very well, but I don't believe has faced any tough defensive competition yet.
Well, he's put some outstanding statistics on the board last two games, but they have been against two of the weaker schools in the City League, so it is a question of how good is he really, and like I said, he's probably their third or fourth tailback that they've used this year, so I don't know that Northwest has that kind of depth in their talent. Derby won the toss. They elected to defer, and Northwest elected to receive, so they will be defending the south goal, and Derby will be kicking off from the north.
Northwest has got a potent attack this year. They've got Tim Strobel, number 11, at quarterback, and he is a very talented passer with almost 900 yards passing on the season. And that certainly has been one of the concerns for the Derby defensive squad the last three games, and that their pass defense, they've been a little bit, but fortunately they haven't broken. And as I said earlier, Melvin Ridley, number 37, will be at tailback, and he has, at least through the districts, proven himself as a talented running back. So we'll see what happens tonight. The Panthers are just about set to kick off, and we're about ready to go with this regional 6A championship game between the Panthers of Derby and the Grizzlies of Wichita Northwest High School. Chris DeVore will do the kicking for the Panthers. Kick is going to be returned by Ridley. I believe there was a fumble on the play. It's going to be retained by the Grizzlies. Didn't look like too aggressive of a return. Kind of looking for his blocking to pick up, I guess, Terry, and it never really developed. So.
And they go hit you. They won't wait for you.
And here's something that we probably figured would happen: trips to the near side of the field, which all three City League schools have had success in. Handoff to Ridley. He's hitting the backfield. He was the lone setback, and just solid penetration by the inside and linebackers of the Panthers.
Line of scrimmage and take the running game away from Northwest right off the start.
Northwest with two wideouts. They send the fullback, Bogan, in motion. Ridley's the lone setback. Strobel drops back, throws over the middle, complete. He hits the number 23, Cantrell.
Just a little quick slant from his left split position.
Just for the passing yardage was through short passes, and they picked up the yardage after that. Third down, we're going to call it a long 4. High formation for the Grizzlies. Handoff to the fullback straight ahead, and he's hit right at the line of scrimmage. He might get a yard at best. Bogan, the ball carrier, he's a big boy, 200 pounds. But that's going to bring up fourth down. So Panther defense rose to the occasion, and good move by Coach Young to kick off and defer, Terry.
Big field position.
Tyson Malik's back deep to receive the punt for the Panthers. Panthers almost got a hand on that one. It's going to be a short punt. Takes a derby bounce back up, hit about the 47-yard line of the Grizzlies, and bounce back inside the 45 to about the 43-yard.
And come out with pretty good field position. And Derby's going to start out with excellent field position.
We'll set the backfield for you. Galbraith at quarterback, Wehrman at fullback, and Tyson Malik the tailback. Gurley and Malik the wideouts. Pitches to Malik. He cuts back inside, slips a little bit, but probably picks up about 5 yards before he's brought down. Bad on.
Well, they spent most of the afternoon trying to get ready for the night. Not unlike 2 weeks ago when a crew was out here working most of the day trying to get the field ready.
Panthers come with the slot to the near side. Galbraith keeps it on a quarterback option. Maybe he gets a yard on the play. It's in at a wide receiver now for the Panthers. He'll come to the near side of the field. He'll go in the slot with Gorley to the near side. Malik, the ball carrier, and he's going to be hit behind the line of scrimmage by a power surge on the right side of that Grizzly line, led by number 64. I'm not sure his name, but I know he's 280 pounds.
Number 34, Wehrman back for the Panthers.
Grizzlies send Ridley back to receive the punt. It's a fake punt. Ball, that's something we haven't seen all year. And who was the ball carrier, Terry?
Glazer. Travis Glazer was a ball carrier on that. He also doubles as a backup quarterback. And it's an indication that Derby's not going to hold anything back tonight.
Well, that's something we haven't seen all year, and you might say that's a very gutsy call by Coach Young, and unfortunately it paid off. Panthers 1st and 10, ball inside the 30-yard line. Galbraith drops back, he rolls right, got time, got a man open down inside the 20 to about the 16, complete, where he goes out of bounds. Pass to Corey Gurley. They're going to spot it at about the 17-yard line where the Panthers will have it 1st and 10. Gurley goes to the far side. Malik's in the slot. Galbraith keeps it on the option. He's inside, down close to the 5-yard line. Might even get inside the 5. Big hole on the right side that time, Terry.
Well, they're really trying to take away the pitch man and flowing to the outside real quick. And
right now, the offensive line of the Panthers is doing their job and opening up holes, moving that big northwest line out of the way. Malik cuts back inside, goes in, standing up. Panthers on top. First blood, 6:03 to go in the first quarter.
Well, there again, that Malik scored cutting back against the grain, and the linebackers and the defensive backs were already to the outside, and he saw the motion, cut back against it, and went in virtually untouched. Nice.
Chris DeVore will do the kicking for the extra point. Galbraith will spot it at the 10. Snap is down, kick is up, and it's good. 6:03 to go in the first quarter. Panthers on top, 7-0.
The gamble on the fourth down pays off, and that's a big play because this game stacked up to be a big defensive struggle, and 7 points is going to be big in tonight's ball game. Defense, they wouldn't have been willing to turn the ball over in that kind of field position, but they are confident that the defense can do the job.
DeVore is going to kick off for the Panthers again. Bogan and Ridley are back deep to receive. High end-over-end kick's going to be fielded at inside the 5 by Bogan. He comes up the middle, double fake handoff reverse. There was 2 or 3 handoffs on that. Terry Ridley ended up with it and got clobbered over on the right far sideline. 29-yard line. Northwest will put it in play there, 1st and 10. Grizzlies with 1 setback. Ridley. Strobel drops back, throws out in the flat, complete, but throws to his fullback, number 9, who they put out in the slot, Bogan. He'll pick up maybe a yard on the play.
Most of their passing game will have to be the short stuff. They will have some difficulty throwing anything downfield into the wind. I'm sure the second quarter, the advantage of the wind will loosen them up a little bit.
Pitch back to Ridley on the right side. He's going to be brought down. Now he slips a tackle. He was hit deep in the backfield. Shelby Wehrman was one of the first guys to hit him behind the line of scrimmage, and he slipped out of that and picked up about, we're going to give him 5 yards on the carry-off.
Runner, and he earned those 5 yards that time.
Bring up 3rd down and 4. Call it a long 4 for the Grizzlies. They stay in the eye. Strobel keeps it on the option. He's pinned in, and now he's hammered. Ross Draney and 44 in on that, Terry. Just clobbered him.
Around the corner.
Northwest will punt it away, and the Panthers almost get a hold of it again. Just a lazy kick that takes it's going to take a Northwest bounce, but not very far. They're going to down it on about the 43-yard line of Derby. So Derby, again, excellent field position, and defense rose to the occasion strong.
Defense left in the first quarter with the wind behind them. They need to take advantage of the field position and the wind on this drive.
Panthers have slot to the near side of the field. Handoff to Wehrman, and he's breaks the open field. He's down the far side, and it's a foot race. Shelby cut back inside, and might have had a few more yards if he stayed outside, but nevertheless, he picks up about 30 yards on the carry. 1st down, Panthers.
And he's looking forward to the senior year. He'll be back in there as quick as he can, I'm sure.
Panthers 1st and 10, ball at the 30-yard line of Northwest Grizzlies. Now we got a little early movement there on the part of the Grizzlies. I'm sure that's going to be an encroachment penalty.
Well, the left side of the Derby line moved at the same time, so it's maybe a coin toss who they're going to call it against. Goes against Northwest, that's the right call.
Trying to stop that running game.
Well, they've looked like that on this series. They're a little tighter than what they have been.
Panthers will have it 1st and 5 on the 25-yard line. Galbraith keeps it, pitches to Malik. He's going to be hemmed in. Probably get back to the line of scrimmage.
Number 80.
Panthers split Malik to the far side, Gurley to the near side, stay in the I formation. Hand off to Malik, straight ahead, big hole. He's still on his feet, down inside the 15, across the 10. Just a big hole in the center of that Derby line.
Tell you what, Ron, I'm not quite as fast as I used to be, but I think I could have gained a yard through that hole.
Line, he had both arms wrapped around that ball pretty tight, Terry, so I'm sure the coaches have told him with the grass probably a little bit of dew and moisture out there to hold on tight. 1st and 10 Panthers, 1st and goal Panthers at the 9. Hand off to Malik again, he's hit at the line, gets inside close to the 5, still on his feet.
Looks like we're about to 5.
Might have been a fumble, I think, Terry, but I believe they ruled him down and right at the 5-yard line.
Points on the board here for the quarter ends.
We'll call it 2nd and goal. Ball, nose of the ball just touching the 5. So Panthers send Tyler Malik to the near side, Corey Gurley to the far side. Galbraith comes back around the option again, turns up real quick. There just wasn't anything there that time.
It looks like Northwest is starting to concentrate a little bit between tackle and tackle now.
Panthers lose about a yard on the carry, so we'll move it back to about the 6-yard line where it'll be 3rd and goal. Nate Phillips comes to the near side. Gurley goes to the far side. Northwest tight inside. Galbraith rolls right, looks downfield. Got Wehrman in the, he's going to call it incomplete. Shelby's not arguing too much, so it must have bounced. He threw it low, but he had Shelby open in the corner of the end zone and field goal. He's going to spot it at about the, we'll call it the 13-yard line, so call it a 23-yard field goal. Snap is back, spot down, kick is up, and it's good. So a little hesitant on calling that. Looked real good from here, Terry, but just couldn't put it in the end zone down at the last minute. Barry rolled out, had time to throw, and had Shelby Wehrman open in the corner of the end zone, but just underthrew him a little bit. Otherwise, it would have been a 6-pointer.
And test the secondary.
Another interesting game out west tonight that I know both of these teams are aware of, but I doubt whether anybody's thinking ahead to, and that's the number 2 ranked team in the state, Dodge City, at 9-0 record going up against Junction City, who is 6-3.
So this is the only 6A school playoff game that does not include a team that was 6-3. This has the teams with the best records of the 2 teams combined of any of the 6A regionals.
This is probably one of the biggest games in the state tonight. DeVore's kick goes back into the end zone. Going to come out to the 20. Bogan.
But when you get to this part of the season, that's kind of football that you have to keep advancing.
Northwest sends trips to the far side of the field. Ridley stays as the lone setback. Strobel's back, looks down, throws out in the flats, complete. Gets his fullback again.
There is a flag, and what the flag is going to be one of the other receivers downfield is downfield blocking. And they can't come downfield and block. What they're trying to do is send 2 receivers down and block for the receiver that stays put back here.
I think there might have been a fumble there.
Well,
but I'm not sure.
Derby sure acts like it's going their way.
I didn't see a fumble. We'll get the official call here now. Offensive pass interference. Well, I guess that's as good as an illegal blocker downfield or
well, that's
screening.
That's basically what it is. The offensive guy can't go down and throw a block.
They're still talking it over with the Derby captains.
Well, it looks like Northwest is going to retain possession of the ball, and Derby's going to move them back. Should move the ball back close to the 10-yard line. The last play of the quarter, so we're going to in the first quarter with Derby holding the impressive 10-0 lead.
Northwest will send trips to the near side of the field. Ridley will stay the lone setback. Strobel the quarterback. They'll run one play before the quarter. Strobel drops back, looks out in the flat, throws across the middle. Pass is going to be behind the receiver. It's a down, in trouble, and an excellent opportunity for the Panthers to the defense to make a stand here, force them to punt deep in their own territory, and maybe send 11 after it.
Well, I'm sure the Panthers have to be back looking for the pass this time, and with 3rd and 20, and when you're thinking pass defense in this situation, you're going to give them an 8-10 yard pass. That's not going to hurt you, but you don't want anybody behind you, and as they get close to a 20-yard route, you've got to tighten up your coverage.
Well, they send Cantrell wide to the far side of the field. They stay with 2 tight ends. Straight handoff to Ridley, and he's hit maybe a yard penetration. They stayed in the power I, and I don't think they intended to do anything other than maybe get it out a little better punting position for him. And Northwest punter is going to be standing inside his right about the goal line where he's going to field the ball. Tyson Malik back deep, standing on his own 45. Wind at the Northwest back. Good snap. Panthers are coming hard. Almost get it. It's a low end-over-end kick. Malik's going to field it. Fumbles the ball, and I believe Northwest got it, Terry. Just not a real good decision by Tyson, but
well, that's a big break for the for Northwest. That is going to give them the best field position that they've had all night.
And certainly neither one of these teams do you want to give any big breaks to, because they're capable of putting points on the board rather quickly when the opportunity comes. Cantrell to the near side. Had a little helmet problem in one of the Panther defensive. So I assume it's a helmet. Seems to be okay. Cantrell to the near side. Power I for the Grizzlies. Strobel keeps it, and he just faked the whole right side of that Panther line out. Downfield deep. He's going to be hit, but not after he picks up about 25 yards.
Excellent call by the Grizzlies. And
on the carry, put the ball at the Panther 27-yard line. Cantrell comes to the near side. Grizzlies stay in the power I. Handoff straight ahead to Ridley, and he's hit right at the line of scrimmage, center of that Panther line.
Part of that may be that he's got to find a hole, and there's up to this point hadn't been one for him to go through.
Well, so far the success that Northwest has had been to the outside or the short pass routes to the outside. They split the receivers right and left. I formation. Strobel's back, throws out in the flat. He's got a man open, and 3 Panthers over there, but they gave a lot of ground on him, Terry. Going to pick up about 5 on the pass play.
Play tighter, and you've got a safety valve behind you.
Well, Northwest only sent 2 receivers out that time, one to the right and one to the left. Strobel's going to throw. When he throws down deep, he's going to throw it out of bounds. He threw a timing pattern, but
he just reached back and threw it, and Nate Phillips had excellent coverage out there.
Ball is just inside the 25-yard line of the Panthers. Big down for the Panthers.
Screen. Oh.
There's a screen pass to Ridley, but the Panthers defense did pretty well and stopped him right about the line of scrimmage. He might have got a yard on the play, so good defensive coverage by Derby. All caliber bullet on that play, Terry, after that short punt and fumble. Now they've got it back on their own 25-yard line, 1st and 10. Panthers in the slot to the near side. Handoff to Wehrman, hit right at the line of scrimmage.
Expected based on what we've seen some of the other C-League schools do. I'm sure that
Grizzlies with just 5 down linemen. They've got their linebackers fairly tight. Galbraith rolls back. He's being pressured. He's going to be brought down. No, he's still on his feet, but he's going to be brought down for a big loss. Barry rolled to the right. First half, Panthers on top 10-0. Panthers send Gorley and Malik to the near side. Going to have a delay of game penalty against the Panthers, and unfortunately that's one of the probably the worst penalties the Panthers had all year. Just kind of struggled with that from time to time on crucial downs, getting that play called.
In this area of the field when the defense has already stopped them once down here.
Third down and 20.
Call the quarterback draw. Barry's gets out across the 20, up close to the 25. So back about to the original line of scrimmage. It'll give Wehrman a little more punting room this time. But
Gone down a little bit from the first quarter when Northwest was putting into it. From what we see at the flag, it is not flying near as strong as it was.
Shelby Wehrman will kick it. Good snap back to Shelby. He gets off a low end over end kick. Going to take a Northwest bounce. Fairly short kick. I don't think Shelby got all of that one. It's going to go out of bounds just short of the 50-yard line. So
Northwest with good field position, largely because of a turnover, and they have their win at their back. So it's kind of equal out for the two teams.
handoff to Ridley, fumble. I believe the Panthers got it. Tyler Malik picks it up, and he's down the right sideline. He's going to score. There's no flags. That's 6 points, folks. Katie bar the door. Handoff to Ridley on the right side. He fumbled the handoff, bounced once. Tyler Malik, coming from his cornerback position, scooped it up, and down the sideline he went. 6 points, Panthers.
A big play for the Panthers, and when we talk about the importance of field position, that counters field position. Afraid to get hit, and he obviously wasn't concentrated on the handoff that time.
Well, I think you're right, Terry. I don't think the handoff was that bad. It looked like it was there, but it looks like Mr. Ridley's just looking for defensive lineman coming, and he's very attentive about stepping into that line. Nevertheless, he fumbled the ball before it was hit. DeVore's kick is up, and it's good. So Panthers on top, 17-0. Kind of surprising right now as far as we're concerned, Terry. But then again, you and I sat in Lawrence, Kansas, or in Manhattan last year against the #1 ranked Lawrence Lions, and it was 23-0 at the half, and we were a little surprised.
Team in the area, and they get chastised because they don't play in the big city league, and everybody talks about their soft schedule and playing some smaller schools during the season. But from what we've seen in the city league, I think Derby has probably as much competition in their league as what Northwest and West faces in the city league. Their league school is the Big Green.
Well, it's like Tyson Malik said last night at the pep rally. They're going to be playing the #1 team in the city league, but the city league is going to be playing the #1 team in the state. So right now they look like the #1 team too, Terry. They're playing good defense, good offense, and against a good defensive team. There's no question about it that the Grizzlies have a good, strong defense, but you know, the breaks, as we said earlier, and you just can't make them against each other. Fortunately, the Panthers dodged one earlier and took advantage of one here.
Well, this is not what we anticipated. Everybody we talked about a big defensive struggle between the two teams, and it's not what we're seeing at this point. Derby defense has done their job.
Short kick, kind of a hard squib kick to Northwest. Is going to be returned for about 10 yards out to the 30. We're going to mark it at about the 37-yard line. Grizzlies send Winters to the near side. Strobel's back. He's looking out in the left flat. Pass is, I believe he's going to call it complete. I'm surprised on that, Terry. It didn't look like it was a complete pass. It looked like he trapped it, but nevertheless, good defense by the Panthers.
Breach had been going the other way for 6 points.
Call it 2nd and 2 for Northwest. Ridley, the lone setback. Strobel back, throws out in the flat, throws behind his receiver, 23, Cantrell.
Pass a little bit.
3rd and 2.
What's the business draw?
2 wideouts to the near side. Northwest has puts a man in the slot. Cantrell again, or Ridley again, the lone setback.
Here it goes, here they go.
Inside trap to the fullback, and he's hit behind the line of scrimmage. They'll probably give him a yard, but excellent defensive.
He's going to get right back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. He's getting right back to the 45-yard line, and he was stood up and no room to go. And I will be real surprised, trailing 17-0, that Northwest will risk turning the ball over in this kind of field position to the Panthers.
Well, especially with over 5 minutes to go in the half yet, Terry. I don't see them going into punt formation. They might be trying to go on a long count here, too. Fourth, and we'll call it a yard. And that's what they're doing. They're going on a long count, Terry. They're trying to draw the Panthers offside. Good discipline by the front of that Panther line.
Panther line did an excellent job, and you know, with a yard to go, you really want to get off on the snap of the ball, and extending some different players on the field. But I haven't seen 14 go out there, so if he wasn't out there to start, they may not be punting.
Well, if they're not, this is a gutsy call by Coach Davis.
Yeah, they're going with double tight end set.
Two tight ends and a power eye.
It's time to play nose-to-nose football.
Handoff straight ahead. He didn't make it. He did not make it. Fumble. There's a fumble, but he did not make it, Terry. If they give him the spot, there's no way.
They spotted it a half-yard short. It's going to be Derby
Just
football.
an outstanding defensive stand by the Panther defensive line. They're going to measure it, but there's no way from our vantage point. He's almost a half a yard short. He had to get out past the...
He had to get across.
Oh, I can't...
he had to get across the 41 or 46, and he didn't.
Strobel's asking for a measurement, and that's the right thing to do on his part. But there's just that yard marker is going to have to lose about 8 chain links for that to be a first down. So we're just going to tell you they didn't make it here, and they didn't. They're a good 2 football lengths short.
I tell you what, that is a big play, because if the Panthers can go down and put some more points on the board before the half ends, that's going to let the air out of Northwest balloon anything they had.
Here against Manhattan down here in the goal line stand, 4th and goal from about the 1, and the Panthers held. So Panthers have it 1st and 10, 46-yard line. And there's just an all-out blitz by the number 51 coming from his right linebacker position. Good timing by him, and nobody picked it up.
Barry to switch up the count just a little bit and go on a longer count and slow those guys down.
Panthers are going to have it 2nd and 14. Ball at the 50-yard line, just at about the 49. Handoff to Malik again. Big line penetration by number 75, 79 there, and knocked Tyson right off his feet in the backfield. So somebody's missing blocking assignments right now. Lose a little bit more, not much. Tyson probably got back to the line of scrimmage when he was knocked down, but pretty wicked hit put on him. Panthers are going to have it 3rd and 14. Ball on their own 49-yard line. Slot to the far side. Galbraith's going to roll right. He's looking downfield. He's got receivers deep. He throws deep, way overthrows his man. Had 2 receivers way downfield. Flag in the secondary, though. I don't know. That could be a holding call defensively, but no. Depends upon who they're going to talk to here. Flag was thrown in the Northwest secondary. Barry had 2 receivers down the far side. Both of them were illegal receiver downfield. How did that happen? Well, I'm sure Northwest will take the penalty, back the Panthers up so a little bit farther. 3:30 to go in the half. Panthers on top 17-0. They declined it. Bring up 4th down.
Bring up 4th down by declining it, so they're going to put Panthers in a situation where they're going to have to punt to them with 3:30 to go in the half.
We'll see if Shelby can get a hold of the ball a little better this time. Plenty of time, good snap last time. I don't think he got all the ball, and it was a low end over end kick, and that certainly is a returnable punt, but it was short. And he'll hit it on about his own 40. He gets off a little higher kick. End over end is going to be fielded by 43, and that's Shoemaker.
Going to try to get some points on the board and going to open up that offense on this, which will probably be their last series of the half.
Well, I'm sure you're going to see Strobel put it in the air. He's got 3 wideouts. Ridley's the lone setback. Strobel takes a 2-drop. Ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage. I'm not sure. I think Robbins might have got a handle on it on the half. Bring up 2nd and 10. Ball just on the 30-yard line of Northwest. Again, Northwest sends 3 wide receivers out. Ridley stays the lone setback. Strobel drops back. Now he looks deep. He's got a man open. Threw to his fullback, number 9, Bogan. He was open in the seam, but threw behind him, Terry. I guess that's the confusing thing. It doesn't seem that he's being pressured that hard. He's got time to set. He looked right, looked back to the left, and had the receiver wide open. They send trips to the near side now. Strobel drops back. He's looking downfield, throws deep. Oh, there's going to be a pass interference flag. Travis Glazier just tripped, and it was unintentional, but he tripped up the receiver, and it would have been incomplete anyway because it was way overthrown.
It was just unfortunate, and it just looked like it maybe caused cleats and stumbled into him, and going to be a big play for Northwest here.
Well, it'll give them a 1st down.
You sure?
So they'll have it 1st and 10, ball at their own 45-yard line now. 3 minutes to go in the half. Panthers need to stand up tall here and keep them off the scoreboard.
Well, it was unfortunate because the defense had done a good job of stopping them and was going to get the ball back with almost 3 minutes to go, but now they've got a new series and again have to step up and stop the passing game.
Grizzlies in the eye. Strobel hands off to Ridley on the right side. He's hit in the backfield. He spins away from one tackler, but then he's hit by 3 or 4. Call it 2nd down and a long 8. Power I. They bring Cantrell to the near side. Pitch back to Ridley. He's going to throw. He's got a man deep, wide open, Terry. And he catches it. Panther's defender fell down or let him go. I'm not sure what. That's Travis Glazier on the near side again, but
lost his footing and slipped, and Panthers very fortunate that Northwest isn't down the end zone jumping up and down right now.
Path was intended or thrown to Winters, and he caught it and then just fell over his own feet, or he'd have been in for 6. So just about inside 2 minutes to go in the half, and Northwest threatening right now. They're in close to right at the 20-yard line. This is the deepest penetration they've had. Strobel runs the option, cuts inside, and he'll get maybe a couple on the carry. 18-yard line of the Panthers. Minute 50 to go in the half.
Very ball games.
See, I'm surprised they don't put Malik on.
Well, Malik's been coming over on trip. There we go.
Trips to the near side, 2nd and 8. Strobel's back. Throws down the middle, complete. 3 receivers down, a lot of green jerseys around Cantrell, but pass is complete, and he's going to pick up the 1st down.
Minute 40 seconds to go in the ball game, or in the half.
Strobel getting good protection. He stood back in the pocket that time and looked and found his open man. And he's had receivers open, but he's just thrown behind him. They send Cantwell to the near side, 2 wideouts to the far side. Strobel drops back again, throws over the middle, intercepted. Pass is intercepted by Shelby. Wehrman in the goal line. He brings it out to the 5. So Panthers dodge another bullet, Terry.
I'll tell you what, big play, and we talked about Derby scoring and taking some air out of their sails, and that play right there will do the same thing.
Throwing that pass because it was pretty tightly covered. He threw right back into the middle of the coverage, and Shelby just stepped in front of the receiver, and had it not been for probably 1 or 2 tacklers the outside, he might have went the distance on that. Linebacker coming hard for Northwest caused the Panthers to move, but I'm not sure if they're going to call it against Northwest or Derby.
Well, it looked like the linebacker stopped before he entered the neutral zone, but it's hard to tell from our angle.
They're going to call it against Northwest. So he must have got in there. He looked a little dejected when he came back, like he knew he had broke the plane.
Well, but high school's unlike what we watch on TV. You know, you can go in the neutral zone in the pros and then come back, and it's not a penalty as long as you don't touch somebody on the offensive side. But
at that point, under a minute to go in the ball in the first half, Panthers send 2 wideouts.
And Derby's just going to down it and let the clock run out.
Shelby, 51 coming hard again. Shelby kind of moved him to the outside, but
17-0 lead into the halftime against
rushing, and then kind of tailored off. They had to punt the ball a couple of times. Probably the biggest offensive spurt was that fumble recovery. Tyler Malik taking it down the sideline for about a 40. Get ready to start the second half here. Panthers on top of the Northwest Grizzlies, 17-0. What started out to be a pretty impressive offensive show by the Panthers, Terry, kind of bogged down into more of a defensive struggle now. Neither team is over 100 yards the first half, I don't believe.
Well, Derby has, I think, about 89 yards total offense the first half, and Northwest is at 95. Most of that coming on passing plays. I think they have 63 yards on passes, and that was just a couple pass plays. So it is the defensive struggle that we thought we would see, but those 17 points on the board are big points right now when you're in a defensive ball game like this.
Well, Tim Strobel, the Northwest quarterback, who's basically came into this with about 900 yards passing and was touted as a very accurate passer, has had receivers open the first half, and through the first probably first quarter and first half of the second quarter just had a real hard time of hitting the receivers, throwing way behind them or short. And then right before the end of the half, he drove the team down, was hitting his receivers, and fortunately they were down on the 5-yard line. Shelby Wehrman steps in front of a Strobel pass and takes it out of the end zone, brings it out to the Derby 5, so dodged a bullet.
Over what did the second quarter, Derby needs to grind the ball out and eat the clock up as much as they can in the third quarter, and keep the ball out Northwest hand as long as they have the win at their back.
Well, the Panthers score here to start the second half would loom very big in the eyes of the Derby team, and certainly a big obstacle for the Northwest Grizzlies. We're about set to start the second half. Northwest kicks off. A fairly deep kick. Malik's going to field it at the 10. He's going to bring it out close to the 25-yard line before he's brought down. Probably spotted at about the 24 and a half, and I'm sure that Coach Davis is not very pleased with the performance of his Grizzlies, and I'm sure you'll see some changes. And
well, Northwest made some defensive changes the second quarter and did a little more stunning and a little packing inside. Now we got to see how Derby is going to adjust to that change that Northwest made.
Handoff to Malik straight ahead, breaks one tackle. Went down kind of funny, like he pulled a muscle, but he gets up okay. So for the Panthers bring Gorley to the near side, send Nate Phillips to the far side. Galbraith drops straight back, looks out in the flat, hits Corey Gorley right over the middle on a little slant pattern, and that's just what you and I were talking about, Terry, earlier, is that Panthers got to start throwing under the...
By surprise, the bread and butter across the middle has been the pass to the tight end, Josh Riedel.
Pickup of about 20 on the play. Panthers 1st and 10 on their own 44-yard line. Galbraith keeps on the option. Doesn't find much running room. We'll give him maybe a yard on the carry.
But he was ready to play and didn't think there'd be a problem with his getting knocked out last week.
2nd and 9 for the Panthers. Ball at the 46-yard line of Derby. Galbraith pitches back to Malik. Pretty good defense. He breaks one tackle. Gets across the 45. Going to be driven out of bounds short of the 50-yard line. They run that option to the near side of the field, so there's not too much running room over here.
The Northwest does a good job. They do have a quick defense, and they do a good job of pursuing. That hurt them a little bit the first quarter when Derby was cutting back against the grain in that pursuit.
Northwest drops some secondary back now. 4 down linemen.
Look at that. Look at that.
Galbraith drops straight back, looks downfield, throws out in the flat, complete to Gorley. Almost knocked down by a Northwest defender, but Corey went to his knees, and good concentration by Corey on that play, Terry. Grizzly territory at about the 43-yard line of Northwest. Send Phillips to the far side, Gurley to the near side. Malik cuts back inside, a little bit of hole on the left side that time, and we'll give him about 5 on the play, maybe 6.
He'll bring up a 2nd and 5 for the Panthers.
Panthers with 2 wideouts, they stay in the eye. That one's probably going to go against the Panthers. Again, linebacker coming, charging hard and stopping right at the line of scrimmage, drawing the Panthers offside. They've concentrated very well on that in the first half, but that time they moved. We'll put the ball at about the Grizzly 44-yard line. Panthers with 2 tight ends in. Galbraith rolls right, looks downfield, he's looking, he throws deep, he's got a man. Had Corey Gorley deep and just underthrew him. Intercepted. Number 23, Cantwell, the wide receiver for Northwest, intercepts it. He just underthrew him, Terry. He had Corey Gorley downfield, down the middle, and he had his man beat.
But he just wasn't able to get down there.
Grizzlies have it 1st and 10 at their own 43. Bring it back to the line of scrimmage. Handoff to Ridley straight ahead. He's about the best running play he's had all night. Gets out across the 45 to about the 47-yard line.
Tentative or timid going into the line of scrimmage with the football.
We'll give him 6 on the carry. Call it 2nd down 4. Ball on the 49-yard line of Northwest. High formation, 2 wideouts for the Grizzlies. Handoff to number 9, Bogan, the fullback. He's still on his feet. Was hit at the line of scrimmage, but didn't go down, and he's going to get, I believe, out close to the 1st down. If he didn't get it, it's going to be real close. And as we said, he has by about 2 lengths of the football, so Grizzlies will be in Panther territory. Ball going to be at the 47-yard line of Derby. Panther defense, the center of that defensive line, still making contact hard at the line of scrimmage, but that time Bogan, the fullback, just stayed on his feet and got the extra couple of yards for the 1st down. 2 wideouts, I formation. Strobel drops back, he's looking deep, throws out, he's got a man, complete. Pass is going to be complete inside the 35-yard line of Derby. Ball's inside, we'll call it the 34-yard line of the Panthers, 1st and 10 Grizzlies. They have 2 wideouts. Strobel runs the option, pitches forward to Ridley, and he's going to be hit for about a 3 or 4 yard loss. So Panthers defense that option to the left side very well.
The Panthers in a stunt of their own with their defensive linebackers and put a lot of pressure on quick on the play and made Strobel pitch.
It'll be a loss of almost 5 on the play, bring up 2nd down. We'll call it 15. Ball at the 39-yard line of Derby. Strobel drops straight back, throws deep downfield, intercepted by number 21, Tyler Malik. Tyler excellent return on that interception. Went up, picked it out of the air. It was a good thrown ball, but there wasn't anybody open downfield. Galbraith brings him out of the huddle. Gurley comes to the near side. Malik, the ball carrier, straight ahead. Gets out to about the 40-yard line. The 40-yard line, so we'll call it second down 6. Panthers send Gurley to the far side. They put Phillips in the slot to the far side. Handoff to Wehrman. He breaks one tackle, gets across the 45, down to about the 44, close to a first down. They're going to spot it short. I don't know that I agree with that spot, but it'll be the length of a football. Little handoff to Shelby Wehrman, the fullback, on that trap up the middle, and Shelby cut back, broke a tackle, and picked up almost 6 on the carry. So nice run by Shelby. It's a first down, I think, Terry.
Yeah, it's real close, and they are going to give it to him.
Even my bad eyesight picked that one up. Wasn't by much, but a good thing Barry called for that measurement, because they were calling it third down.
Well, the thing is, Barry shouldn't have to call for it. When it's that close, they'll be taking himself. But Barry being heads up, and that's the option of the captains to call for a measurement.
Gurley goes to the far side. 2 tight ends in now for the Panthers. High formation with Wehrman and Malik in the backfield. Northwest moving their defensive linebackers around. Pitch to Malik. Tyson slips trying to cut back. Now there's a flag down. Probably going to be a illegal block on this side.
Well, Northwest dropping down to where they've got almost 8 guys up in the line of scrimmage and challenging Derby to throw the football.
That's going to back it up 10 yards. So it'll move it back to about the 35, where they'll have it first down and 10 at that point.
First and 20.
Or first and 20, I'm sorry. Got an ambulance on the far side of the field, Terry. I'm not sure what that's all about.
Probably the
over in the band section of Northwest.
Probably the bleachers collapsed over there.
Panthers with 3 wide receivers, 1 setback. Handoff to Wehrman, straight ahead, gets across the 35, out close to the 40, still on his feet. Drives across the 40 to about the 44-yard line of Derby. So just that quick fullback trap again, straight ahead. Phillips goes in at a wide receiver for the Panthers. Gurley goes to the far side. Galbraith rolls right, looks downfield. He's got time, complete. I believe Phillips was the receiver. He's going to be short of the first down, but not by much.
Corey Gurley, the receiver.
Gurley's the receiver, right.
About a 14-yard gain. He's going to end up maybe 2 yards short, 13-yard gain. Going to end up 2 yards short. Excellent timing pass.
The Panthers will have it there, 3rd and about 2. Panthers need to get up to the line and get this play off, Terry. They can't afford to have a delay a game here, or any penalty for that matter. This is a big down for Derby. Galbraith rolls out to the left. He throws. He's got Wehrman out in the flat, and he's got a completion. Shelby down inside the 35-yard line. So there's that little pass to the fullback out in the flat. Shelby was wide open, which is the same play they ran earlier down the first half with a touchdown, and Barry just underthrew him a little bit.
To try to pound it out inside, and Derby had the right play call.
We put it at the 31-yard line of Northwest, 1st and 10 Panthers. Phillips comes to the near side, Gurley to the far side. Panthers split the eye. Galbraith drops back, throws deep to Corey Gurley. He's got it. Down inside the 10-yard line. Excellent catch by Corey Gurley, going down and going out of bounds. Should be close to the 5, Terry.
Well, an opportunity to take advantage of that.
Ball's going to be at the 6. Panthers will have it 1st and goal there. Gurley comes to the near side. Malik in the slot to the near side. Panthers score here, Terry, and you're going to see Northwest put the ball in the air quite a bit. Hand off to Malik straight ahead. He's inside the 5. Should be down close to the 3. He's driven back, but I believe he got down around the 3-yard line. They pick up 3. This is points territory. They've got to come away from here with some points, and hopefully it's 6. 2 tight ends in for the Panthers now. Gorley comes to the near side. Now we got a flag. Got to be Northwest lined up in the neutral zone, and it is. Panthers are indicating it's against Northwest, so that'll put it on about the 1.5.
And moves it that much closer, and when you're down that close to the goal line, the defensive line tries to get as close as they can to.
From just inside the 2. The Panthers break the huddle. They come up to the line. Tyler Malik wide to the near side. 2 tight ends in. Hand off to Wehrman, the fullback, straight ahead. Shelby powers in for the touchdown. Panthers put 6 up, Terry. Good driving run by Shelby Wehrman. Good block on the left side of that line.
That really was, and like we said before, now we've got less than a minute to go in the 3rd quarter, and they are not going to have an opportunity to really get advantage, use the wind to their advantage. The offensive line for the Panthers is doing an excellent job. Josh Austin and D. Duncan on that left side, just controlling them and blowing them off the ball, and Doug Simpler also.
Galbraith spots it. Divorce kick is up, and it's good. So 54 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter, and the Derby Panthers on top, 24-0. Nothing victory. I guess they didn't indicate which team.
Well, I don't know if they've sent the signal over to Derby that it's time for Derby to quit scoring, that we're at 24-0 or not. But I tell you what, Derby it's stepped its game up tonight from how they've been playing. They've been playing some good football, but they've made some mental mistakes and some errors lately, and they have put an excellent game plan together tonight, and the kids are executing it very well.
Well, that was just a good drive offensively by the Panthers, a good defensive stand after Northwest had intercepted and taken the ball down inside the 30-yard line of Derby, and then Tyler Malik intercepts, brings it back, and the Panthers put together about a 70-yard drive on that play. And I'm sure, as you say, we're going to see Tim Strobel put the ball a lot in the air now, down 24-0, and basically 1 quarter of play left to go.
He's going to have the wind in his face, and it may not be as strong as we've seen some nights, but it's obviously there, and I'm sure he'll be aware of it.
Another little squibber kick picked up by number 43. Schroeder.
Northwest will probably have an opportunity to run one more play with the wind at their back, and I'm sure they want to try to take advantage of the wind that they can.
2 tight ends, power I for Northwest. Pitch back to a fumble. Pitch back to number 21. We haven't seen him in the ball game tonight, and the pitch was right to him.
They had something called something funny. The quarterback was coming out on this side, like maybe it's going to be a throwback to the quarterback. Impressive 24-0 lead over the Northwest Grizzlies.
That pitchback was to 21, Alan Barry. We haven't seen him in the ball game tonight. He's a 185-pound junior tailback. And like you say, there probably was some kind of a trick play on, because the quarterback was coming out to the near side. Number 1 ranked in the state derby going up against the number 8 ranked Northwest Grizzlies. First meeting ever for these 2 teams, and both have been powerhouses in this part of the state football programs the past several years. Second and 15. Strobel's going to go down. He was pressured hard by Ross Draney.
I tell you what, that's a great effort by Ross Draney. He just runs over the top of his man trying to block him, and there was going to be no denying him getting to the quarterback. They're in a situation where they basically put Northwest in the position where they've got to pass the football, and that gives a big advantage to the defensive line. They can just let loose and come a little harder than they normally would.
Northwest with trips to the far side of the field. Strobel's going to throw it long. He lets it go into a crowd. It's intercepted. I think Nate Phillips came down with that one. Or is it Gorley? Corey Gorley.
Corey Gorley back on defense.
That was kind of almost a Hail Mary toss into the wind. Corey brought it down inside Northwest territory at about minutes to go in the ball game to put the death clutch on Northwest, leading 24-0, and the wind at their back. They bring Corey Gurley to the near side. They stay in the I formation with Wehrman and Malik. Galbraith drops back deep, throws deep. He's got Severin deep. Aaron catches it full stride, touchdown. Excellent concentration by Aaron Severin.
That was excellent concentration, and that was an excellent pass. And I tell you, the thing that really impresses me, a lot of a lot of coaches in this situation would say, let's take the time off the clock and let's run it out, and you get the defense starting to look at that and start worrying more about the run and the pass. And Derby hits them quick, and that's a big play for the Panthers.
Well, we just can't say enough about that that play in itself. Barry dropped back and just let it go. Aaron, excellent concentration. The Northwest defender basically stayed with him stride for stride. Aaron was fully extended when he caught it and just lunged into the end zone.
The ball couldn't have been thrown any better. It was right on the money, right where it had to be.
Christopher drives it through, and Panthers on top, 30-0, 31-0. I know they didn't come down here and intend to get beat, and certainly didn't intend to get beat 31-0.
Well, I feel real bad about it.
I know you do, Terry. I can tell just by looking at you that you're totally upset. Probably have a hard time sleeping tonight. But the thing about the playoffs is if you lose this ball game, you go home for the rest of the year and turn in the uniforms. And it looks like Derby's going to match up against, we think, Dodge City here next Friday night. And I'm sure Dodge City's not excited about coming back here 2 years in a row, but
Dodge is trying to get by Junction City, and I talked to
did you talk to anybody?
Larry Cahoon, who lives here in Derby, whose nephew is a quarterback for Dodge City, and he was telling me Monday or Tuesday that his nephew had dislocated or broke 3 fingers on his left hand, which is not his passing hand, but at the same time would have some effect on you.
Little squib kick again. Chris is having some trouble with his kickoffs here, but fortunately it isn't causing any return problems. Grizzly fumbled it trying to bring it out. Gets it out close to the 30-yard line. Want to get in the end zone.
Well, they'd like to get that goose egg off the scoreboard, but Derby defense has a lot of pride in the job that they do, and they'd love nothing more than a shutout right now.
Handoff to Ridley straight ahead. He does break one tackle, gets to the outside. He's going to be brought down. I think Tyler Malik and Nate Phillips in on the stop. Cantrell comes clear to the near side of the field. Ball on the far hash mark. Pitch back to Ridley. He's going to cut back inside, but he's going to be brought down at the line of scrimmage. Might even have lost a yard, Terry. Good pursuit.
He lost a couple yards. They're having trouble passing the ball. It's gone back to the running game, and it's absolutely doing nothing for him right now.
Cantrell to the near side. Winters goes to the far side. Bogan in motion. Strobel drops back, hits Cantrell over the middle, and for a saving tackle by Nate Phillips, he's gone. I'm sure we'll see him come back to that again. Cantrell again to the near side. Winters to the far side. I formation. Strobel drops straight back, no pressure. Throws out in the flat, compete to Cantrell. The Derby defense is really laying off the receivers now, Terry. Well, I know it's a situation of that they've probably got the ball game won with 8:23 to go in it, but it sure would be nice to see the Panthers shut out the Grizzlies. 1st and 10, Grizzlies. Strobel again drops back. Little shovel pass, knocked down by, they're going to call it incomplete. It was almost intercepted.
It's going to be incomplete because it was forward, but it was almost 6 points for the Panthers. Figure out who it was here.
We'll catch it on the replay here in a second, let you know. Good defense by the Panthers. 2nd and 10.
There's a guy in a green shirt, I know that much.
Strobel again over the middle on that quick slant to Cantrell, and again he hits it.
3rd and short, and Northwest was looking for the running game, and Derby threw a little pass out to the Wehrman in the flats.
Power eye. Barry comes in, number 21. He's the straight ahead to 9, the fullback. Bogan, and he's going to get the first down. Northwest has moved the ball tonight on different occasions, but Panthers have risen to the occasion and stopped all the threats so far. Strobel, I'm not sure if he had trouble on the handoff or what. He paused for a minute, then went straight ahead. Probably get a yard. You can give him a half a yard on the carry. Call it second down, the long 9.
Dodge City wins, and we will play Dodge City here next Friday night.
2 wideouts for the Grizzlies. Strobel drops straight back, rolls right now, looking downfield. He can't find anybody. Now he throws across the middle, broken up at the last minute by 45 for the Panthers.
45 is David Russell.
Pressure and had a man there for a minute, but Dave came in and broke the play up. Pressure coming to the right side this time, left side. Throws up a wounded duck, and it's picked off by Nate Phillips. So just not a good pass at all thrown by Strobel that time. And,
Well, it wasn't a good pass, and the key is that Derby's making him run to throw the football. They're not letting him set.
Game. Panthers have it 1st and 10, ball at their own 14-yard line now. Barry just getting in the huddle now.
Well, we looked for Derby to try to run the clock out, but last time we thought they'd do that, they threw for a touchdown.
Hand off to Malik straight ahead. He'll get about a yard on the carry, maybe 2.
The coaches are telling him right now is to hang on the football and grind it out. All we need to do is pick up 1 or 2 first downs, and the ball game's ours.
We'll call it second down, a long 9 for the Panthers. Hand off to Malik again. He gets a hole on the left side, breaks a couple of tackles, still on his feet. Going to be brought down, but not after he gets out across the 25 to about the 27-yard line for a first down. Nice.
Coming out. And quarterback for the Panthers, number 11.
Troy Glazer goes in at quarterback now for the Panthers. Malik comes out at tailback. We'll try to pick up some new faces here. We got a timeout now. Now they got time in. So we'll try to give you the new lineup. Glazer's in at quarterback.
Shelby's moved back to tailback, and Robbins is at fullback.
Okay. 2 wideouts for the Panthers. Hand off to Robbins, the fullback slot. He breaks it across the 40. Down up close to the 45, so the fullback trap to Robbins, and he breaks it for about 15 yards. And take nothing away from them. They've had a fine season. They've had a fine many seasons, and first time in the playoffs, and unfortunately they had to play the Panthers. Hand off to Wehrman out of the tailback slot, and he breaks across for about 6 yards. Make it 5.
They've done an excellent job tonight of blocking and controlling that, and both ways, on offense and defense.
Hand off to Wehrman again. He gets across the 50 down into Grizzly territory. He'll be short of the first down, maybe by about a yard, Terry, maybe 2 yards. Backfield of the Panthers showing their stuff right now and moving the ball quite well. I'm sure the Grizzlies are tired at this point, and they've been beat up pretty good tonight.
Well, they've known they've been in the ball game, and they know what it's like to play against the number 1 ranked team in the state.
Hand off to Robbins. He breaks the tackle. He's on the outside to the far side of the field. He's going to be run out of bounds inside the 40. Panthers ball at the 37-yard line of Northwest. We're under 3 minutes. Panthers on top, 31-0.
We will have a trophy presentation at the conclusion of tonight's game, so please remain in the stands for that presentation.
Hand off to Wehrman, and he's going, well, no, we've got new tailback in. 46, John Dillard didn't carry the ball that time. John going to lose a couple yards on the play. Good penetration that time by the center of the Grizzly line.
Well, they're in a situation where they know that Derby's probably not going to throw the football, so they're coming hard every play like it's a running play, and it's a pretty good gamble on their part.
Hand off to, I believe it's number 30 in at fullback now. Jason Bealby, the fullback. This is their last game.
30 is Duncan. Number 30 is Duncan. New number.
Yeah, same.
Ronnie Duncan.
They kicked Bealby off the team. Ronnie Duncan's number 30. We've just been corrected. The program is a little cheaper program this year than we're accustomed to. Print's quite small. Doug Simpler's coming off the field limping a little bit. That certainly isn't a good sign. Hopefully he'll be okay next week. Doug's a key part in that offensive line at center.
He's coming off under his own power. He probably just twisted an ankle or a knee, and looks like he's just probably as tired as anything. They're going to take a look at his knee.
3rd and 14 for the Panthers. Glazier keeps it on the quarterback option, cuts back inside. He gets down close to the 35-yard line in Northwest, where he's going to be brought down. We're coming up on a minute to go in the ball game, so Panthers are going to win this regional state title, 6A, and go on to the sub-state championship next week. We assume it's against Dodge City, but we don't know. We haven't heard a score at this point.
Well, if it's against Dodge City, my understanding the game would be here, and if Junction City would win, then my understanding is that we would go to Junction City. So. But it would take a great game by Junction City to beat Dodge City.
Wehrman's kick, high end over end kick, going to go into the end zone, but that's okay. There's no return on it, so 35 seconds to go in the ball game, and the Panthers are going to put this one over in the left-hand column under the wind.
They were playing against a good ball team.
Well, it's hard to say, Terry, if this is the best team they've played against or not, according to the record. And some of the scores coming out of the City League, we would think they were, but for the most part, the Panthers just handled them without too much trouble tonight. Straight ahead, Ridley carries the ball. We're under 29 seconds now, so they're just going to, there's not much they can do, and they're going to run the clock out. Panthers are going to go away from here as regional champions, 10-0 going into the sub-state championship, and one game away from being back at the state finals. This will be the last play of the game. Strobel will get it off. He's going to cut it loose. He's pressured hard, and then he goes down. So Panthers win it, Terry, 31-0. Just an outstanding display of offensive and defensive for the Panthers tonight as they put the number 8 ranked Grizzlies down 31-0.
Well, it was an excellent team game both ways, offensive and defensive, and the kids played well tonight.
Yes, and I think we picked up the fumble, of course, and scored off that. I think the real key, though, is we never gave up any big runs with their passing game, and I think we have like 3 or 4 interceptions, too. And I think that's a big difference. I'm going to ask you good question. Trent played for us, back, he was like 91, I believe, and he has several school records yet. Tyler and Tyson, they're just super competitive. You look at them and they don't look like, big football players or big hitters like they are, but they play with a lot of heart, a lot of intensity, and that kind of has it rubs off on everybody else too. So exceptionally fast, he's not exceptionally big, and he gains 1,400 yards. Well, right, he reads the blocking schemes well, and he does cut quick. That's his strength. That's great. That scoreboard's nice.
You got it.
Anytime you play City League, it ends up like that.
Who would have thought that,
Yeah, I thought it'd be a lot closer than it is.
Well, we're here with Coach Young after a big, impressive 31-0 victory over the Northwest Grizzlies, the Wichita City League Championship. Coach, I thought it was probably the best ball game you guys played all season.
Definitely. I thought we executed well offensively and defensively. Our kids, they played hard all year, but somehow they found a little extra tonight, and it sure showed.
Well, they really did, and there wasn't the mistakes and mental errors. They just played an outstanding ball game. The Northwest coach last night at their pep rally told them the score was going to be 24-0, and he missed it just a little bit, but he was close.
Well, right, I'd heard that too, but that's just hype. We do the same things sometimes too.
Well, it's tonight. It was an excellent defensive ball game. They did a good job of stopping a good passing attack and also a good running ball game. I think the Derby passing game got back on track a little bit back tonight.
Definitely. We had some big plays, and the opportunities were there, and we took advantage of them. With our passing game.
And, it seems like your football team over the years have risen to the level that it needs to do to win a ball game, and I think tonight was probably the highlight of that is they came out ready to play ball, and they knew what it took to win, and did an excellent job of executing. Defense, we can't say enough about them.
Well, the defense just played super tonight. We went into the game, we knew they'd get some completions. They have an outstanding passing attack, and all we wanted to do was contain them and keep the damage to a minimum. And we also knew we'd have interception, opportunities. And when they were there, we had to keep hold of the ball. And I think we had 3 or 4, so that made a big difference in the game.
Well, I tell you what, it's probably the best team effort I've seen all year, and just an outstanding job by a lot of different people, and they all need to be congratulated along with the coaching staff. Big win. We're assuming we're looking for Dodge City next week. They were playing Junction City, and we haven't heard a score. What can we expect there?
Well, Dodge City, we don't know a whole lot about them other than, we played them last year and the year before. As I understand it, they're running pretty much the same system offensively and defensively, so it won't be too hard to get a good scout report on them. As I understand it, they're just a real solid team, and a lot of kids that they're playing this year were here last year against us. They played quite a few juniors a year ago.
They're going to have to play an outstanding ball game if Derby plays as well as they did tonight to beat us next week. And again, congratulations to you and your staff and the players on an excellent ball game tonight.
Well, thank you very much.